Hi everybody and welcome to this week's Tune In Tuesday. This week I'm kind of exploring a really tragic issue that was brought to my attention last week, just how severe the issue is. A friend of Beach Guardian, Kim, put up a picture on the Porthcothan and Trianon Bay page of a dead baby cow, a calf, and during the post-mortem they discovered that it had actually ingested dog poo bags, and this was the cause of death. So for myself and many others, this story was just truly heartbreaking, and I wanted to kind of go back to Porthcothan and have a look on the coastal path and see how many dog poo bags I can find, just how severe the problem is. And bearing in mind, this is just one beach out of how many, not just in Cornwall, but the whole of the UK. And the problem is a massive problem, and I'm sure that I'm not going to be shocked by how many I find today. So I'm going to head to Porthcothan now, and I'm going to take pictures of every single dog poo bag that I find to show you how many there is. So let's go. So I showed you that on the footpath coming up to the top field next to Porthcothan Beach there was a sign about sheep's grazing, and I was getting really concerned as I was getting all of these dog poo bags because there is sheep's wool entangled in all of the bushes. So I thought there's a very high possibility that the sheep that graze here, they're grazing in the exact same place where all these poo bags are. There's a high chance that they've ingested some of them too, and I've literally just got up here and I found the sheep just there, and this is where I've literally just found 10 poo bags all in one area. So it's just really tragic to think what might be happening to those sheep up there. literally on my hands and knees now in these bushes in a really tight gap, and I can't tell you how many poo bags there are in here. There's right in over there that I definitely can't get to, but you can see all of this sheep's wool, so they're obviously getting in here. And if they look, there's a poo bag over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, loads in there. I'll just see how many I can get out. So this is where I've just been calling in, and the little robin's just gone in after me. It's quite sweet now that I've kind of removed the plastic. It feels like it can go in there. Hello. And he's gone. But this is how much poo bags I've just got out of there. So I think that's a fairly good distance of Porthcothan Bay covered, just to show you where I managed to walk along the coastal path. So I started off over this side and I walked all the way along here to the very end and back again. And then over on the right hand side I walked along the coastal path here, and I got right to the end of the headland and then back up to the top field where the sheep were, and then all the way back down again. And to be completely honest, I really don't know how to feel about how many poo bags that I just found. I'm like heartbroken, I feel frustrated and angry and just disappointed really, how it's just a sheer lack of respect for the natural environment to see that many poo bags. Bearing in mind it's winter, there are still not that many people in Cornwall, and to find that many, it is really heartbreaking. And just in case you were wondering if it was just poo bags I was collecting today, no, you might have seen I did a little bit on the beach as I was walking from the left side to the right hand side of the coastal path, and I've also been litter picking up in the bushes and stuff, so this is how much. So I filled a whole bin bag, and as you can see there's the poo bags in there, plastic bottles, all sorts really. I don't really want to dig too deep in there, but there's a lot. So after that I feel really quite empowered and inspired and motivated to go and do more, because I've collected so many poo bags in, you know, an area where maybe you wouldn't expect to find that many, and there is a spot where I know that I probably will find a whole lot more, and that is the Padstow Camel Trail. So my previous Tune In Tuesdays I've done the Weybridge to Bodmin Camel Trail, but I've never actually done the Padstow to Weybridge Camel Trail, and this is a very popular dog walking route, so I think I'll head there now from Porthcothan and we'll just see how many poo bags I find there. walked a little bit further than the picnic area now, and it's taken me about an hour just because I'm having to clamber in and out of the bushes to ensure that I'm getting as many poo bags as I possibly can. What I've done is I've been doing the right hand side coming up, and now I'm going to turn back around and do the left hand side just to make sure that I'm trying to get as many of the poo bags as possible. Again, I'm just shocked by how many I've found so far, and I've got to do the other side now and I'll probably find just as many, if not more, so we'll see how many I find. Okay, so I've just got home and I'm really struggling to come up with the words to describe how today has made me feel. This is what 201 dog poo bags looks like, and it's made me feel so disappointed, because I think it's fair to say that I try and do a beach clean or litter pick every day, so I'm seeing litter and plastics in the environment all the time. But this type of thing has made me feel different to that, because this is literally just careless, disrespectful, just awful behaviour, irresponsible behaviour. People literally just picking up dog poo and chucking it in a hedge, hanging it in a tree. It's absolutely outrageous, and I just can't help but think that there's literally no real urgency to try and prevent it. I think if 201 poo bags was suddenly dumped on a coastal path, there would be a massive public outcry. If someone came across a whole pile of dog poo bags, there would be a massive whodunit, public inquest, you know, everyone would be trying to find out who the awful human was that dumped it there. But the truth is, this happens every single day, and I only looked on a small proportion of the coastal path in Porthcothan and at the very start of the Camel Trail. I've got over 200 poo bags here in one day. Think of how many other poo bags there are in the whole country. It's absolutely outrageous, and as I say, it doesn't seem that there's any pressure for this to stop. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys could comment about how this has made you feel, whether you were surprised by how many there were. And I also want to highlight some of the alternatives and what you can do. Obviously, the most important thing, pick up your dog poo. That is your responsibility, and it is also your responsibility to hold on to that dog poo until you come across a bin. You have to put it in a bin. There are these really great things called dicky bags that our volunteers Kevin and Sharon showed us, and they're basically these really cool pouches that you can put on a dog lead or on your belt, and they're water resistant, they're smell proof, so you can literally just put the dog poo bag in there with the dog poo in, carry it, it's not unpleasant, and then when you see a bin you can put it in the bin. So there's another area that I'd like to address now as well, which was really highlighted to me today, and that is with so many of these poo bags having the words biodegradable or degradable written in big letters all over them. And I think I just cannot believe how this has been allowed, in that, you know, in my last week's Tune In Tuesday video I showed this clip of where I found a degradable poo bag, and quite clearly it hasn't broken down, it's broken apart, and this is exactly what happens. The plastic is just breaking down into microplastics. Now, this is so dangerous and detrimental to the environment because these microplastics can be very easily ingested, I'd imagine, by the invertebrates in the soil. For example, earthworms. Are they ingesting these microplastics, and then are these then passed up the food chain as the earthworms are kind of eaten, and these are accumulating in the bigger animals? Because this is how it's happening in the ocean, so I don't see any reason why this isn't happening in the terrestrial environment and quite likely ending up in our food chain. It's just something to think about. So if you have biodegradable or degradable poo bags and you think they're degradable, I'll just chuck them in the environment and they'll break down. Absolutely not. If there's anything to take away from this video, if you've got degradable or biodegradable poo bags, treat them exactly the same as you would plastic poo bags. Put them in the bin. So as I said, I would really welcome any comments after this video. I want to know your opinion on the problem and your solutions to it as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week for next week's Tune In Tuesday.